correctly with the correct amount.
D20 Radio, where gamers roll.
www.d20radio.com.
Roll for initiative.
Welcome back, folks. Issue number 40 of the Roll for Initiative podcast. I'm one of your hosts, DM Vince, along with DM Jason.
Hi.
DM Nick.
Howdy, howdy, howdy.
And we're back. We're 40 issues old. I can finally say that now.
The big 4-0.
Yeah, we're over the hill now.
Oh, man. Get my walker out.
So what news do we have this week?
News.
Jason?
I don't know. We're getting ready for Christmas. You know, everybody's busy with their shopping and out there looking for cool books to send us and gifts to give us and that kind of stuff, right? Isn't that what's happening?
As far as, I know. I bought a couple things off eBay.
I can't wait for Santa Orc to show up myself.
Yeah, it's looking forward to the Christmas show that we're gonna do next week. But yeah, it's been a good week.
Ho ho ho! Yeah. So we have any new articles up on the site?
Oh boy, you would ask me that right now, wouldn't you?
Yeah, I always ask you that. Second thing on the show.
Yeah, but I never look ahead of time. Wow, actually, no. It looks like the Sandbox Adventures. That was our last show. Yeah, we got to get some more articles up there. So, if anybody else listening wants to become a writer on the website, let us know, because there's plenty of room. We don't run out of paper. It's on a website, so
we don't need no stinking papers.
That's right. We're an equal opportunity employer.
Boy, yes, unless your grammar really sucks, then Jason hits delete on your article.
Yes, I do.
Anyway, don't forget our contest for December. That's been going on. Our DM challenge.
Yeah, so let's actually recap that really quickly. We've been getting some good submissions for it, but we'll just tell you one more time. We're doing the DM challenge, so we want you to call into the voicemail line with your answer to how you would referee the situation. Situation is this. Your players have arrived at a steep canyon between two cliffs with a worn-out old rope bridge between the two sides. They begin to cross the bridge, but as they do, an evil thief that's been trailing them comes out of the shadows and begins to cut away the rope on one side. So how do you referee the situation? We want to know things like, how would you handle the time that it takes to cut the rope? Figuring out the time to cross the bridge, missile weapons if the players are trying to shoot the thief, for example, and calculating damage if they fail to save themselves in time. And any other kind of things you can think of that might come up, let us know. We're looking for the most creative answer that's also practical, that you could actually handle in a game situation that doesn't take too long to referee, and that actually is grounded in the rules of first edition AD&D.
Yep, and the 3 character classes, I know people asked about that, was a paladin, ranger, and I think we said a cleric, right?
I don't think we said, so did we just sort of put those in later?
Yeah, we put them in at the very end.
Okay, paladin, ranger, and a cleric.
Do it up, send it in. We've had about 5 voicemails, which I have to get up to the site so you guys can hear it. I got a new computer, so I've been busy with that. And actually, one person needs to call again because the voicemail was like that. So if that was you and you're from area code 201, call again.
Maybe they were calling from a drive-through. Got all broken up.
Yeah, Nick.
Art, ice, and a drink.
Okay, and on that note, we'll head into Sage Advice.
Sage Advice.
Here we go with Sage Advice. We have the first thing coming in from DM Baron Zemo. Nick, you want to take this one?
Sure, from DM Baron Zemo. Somebody's a Marvel comic books reader, obviously.
Yes.
And thanks, DM Baronzimo. We have here is he asks, was just looking at the smoke para elemental in the Monster Manual 2, and he noticed that there was no armor class listed for that particular monster. Any clue why there is no AC? I'm pretty sure I know why. It was a typo.
Why do you think?
There was a typo in the printing.
Mm-hmm.
They forgot to put that in there. And looking through the listings of all the other para elementals in the Monster Manual 2 on pages 98 and 99, each of them have the same armor class: the ice, the magma, and the ooze. Mm-hmm. They all have the same armor class as 3. So
right.
I think it's like 99.9% safe to assume that the smoke elemental's AC should be 3.
You're probably right, but this one, I was digging all over trying to find an answer to it that would be definitive. I could have sworn somewhere there was an errata that was printed.
Yeah, I couldn't find it either. I thought it might have been in Dragon Magazine somewhere, but I couldn't find it in any of the listings online. But
yeah, I dug through Dragon's Foot to see if anybody had any ideas. You're probably right about the 3, but it got me thinking, and probably I shouldn't have spent as much time thinking about it as I did, because now it's driving me nuts. It got me thinking about all forms of creatures that are non-corporeal. Mm-hmm. So whether it's a smoke para-elemental or an air elemental or, what a vampire when they're in their ethereal state. How do you do damage to one of these guys with a metal sword?
Well, I would assume I would usually play it that it has to be a magical weapon, and somehow the magic imbued in the weapon hurts them,
Right.
That's how I kind of.
The only thing is, it doesn't say that. I mean, it does
Right.
not say. And I look back at the air elemental, the smoke method. Although the smoke method, could maybe be. So, he's not actually made of smoke, but it didn't have anything in there about that, and now it's starting to really bug me. So for now, since the rules don't say anything, I would just keep playing it as is. If you hit him with a sword, it doesn't have to be magical, but I'd really like to hear some of our listeners' opinions on it, because it's sort of doing my head in.
Yeah. But I just kind of went with my gut, even though I couldn't find anything. I'm like, I think that's a typo. They just forgot to put that line in the description, and AC is 3 like the other 3 that are listed under that particular.
Yeah, I might call them a little bit more like an AC 1 or 2, because like an air elemental's an AC 2, and it seems to me they should be harder to hit because they don't really have a bodily form, but 3 is fine.
Yeah. So, all right. Yeah. I think we got that one. So, okay. And I guess we got another one for Jason here.
Oh, yeah. So here we go. Power word kill. I like the name.
I like that, too.
Writes in and asks, "Hey, guys, love the show. It's great. Was just re-listening to a couple of shows, and I revisited the questions Lass and DM Iron Fist had about monks and their dodge ability versus missile weapons. Not to harp on already hashed out topics, and I understand the fact that their dodge block capability only works on missile weapons, but my question is, how do they react to splash damage? For example, that fireball they dodge hits a wall and blows up, or if someone uses, say, a flash of acid or burning oil as a missile, do they dodge the splash damage as well?" I got some thoughts, but what do you guys think?
Vince, you got anything on this?
I don't think you should be able to dodge or block splash damage.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I don't think. Yeah, how is that possible?
Well, I guess they're thinking that the monk is moving in super fast speed. It's some sort of Matrix kind of action. But, the whole thing with the missile weapons is spelled out, pretty specifically, because there are myths and legends about martial artists being able to grab an arrow out of the air while it's in flight. But there's no such myths about being able to avoid a splash of hot lava or something.
Right. I'd like to see a bunch of ninjas try to dodge a grenade. I just don't see that happening.
Yeah, I think the best now the idea of a fireball hitting a wall and blowing up as splash damage is kind of interesting because I've never bothered to think about the flak or the shrapnel or whatever that comes out of it, but that's a kind of interesting thing to add in for potential damage around there, and you could definitely hit a monk with that. So sure, go for it if that's the way you play a fireball.
Okay.
So no, they don't. The answer is no. They do not dodge splash damage. So there you go.
I'm good with that too. And it just sounds a little too. I mean, come on.
Too much, too magic. It's too superpowery.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, is that all the sage advice we've got this week? No voicemails?
No, nothing. We're in a slow week this week.
Okay.
Yeah, it's getting around the holidays. It kind of slows down.
So why don't we head into table manners?
Typical. Of all the evil creatures in the world, I'd like to find one with table manners.
What are you kidding me? I spent years cultivating the worst table manners on the planet.
Table manners.
All right. This week in Table Manners, we're going to talk about a character class out of the Unearthed Arcana. We're going to talk about the Cavalier. How to play the Cavalier is how to roll one up. Are they really like lawful stupid? Are they needed? Or are they just like a paladin pseudo kind of thing going on there? So let's open this thing up. I mean, I look through the Cavalier class, and all in all, I really don't have much of a problem with it. The only thing I didn't agree about, maybe now in retrospect, is having the Cavalier as a separate character class and putting the Paladin as a subclass under the Cavalier. I don't know about that.
I don't think I could be more 180 degrees away from you on this one. I hate the Cavalier.
Really?
I really don't think it belongs in the game. Not as a PC. When I went back and looked at it again, there's so many things about the Cavalier that just break from to the mechanics of first edition. That breaks from it's way overpowered, for one thing.
Well,
the Cavalier is way overpowered, in my opinion. And there's a lot of stuff that's... Well, let me just kind of go back to the Cavalier for a second. First of all, they're meant to be basically a horseman. So right off the bat, all the things that a Cavalier is supposed to do doesn't fit too well into a dungeon delving environment. If you've got a campaign that's set in a more traditional... world of, or not traditional, but a more sort of heroic world of knights and chivalry, then that's another story. But most of the stuff, it's all about them being, these horse riding knights, and they get all these bonuses along their different weapons. They can actually increase their dexterity and their constitution, and I think is it more than that, or is it just They can increase their strength, dexterity, and their constitution.
Yeah,
they get to the point where they're having 3 attacks. I mean, they're way overpowered. And a lot of the stuff in here, they're not supposed to be historically accurate. I get that. I mean, if I was comparing the Dragon Magazine version to the one that ended up in Unearthed Arcana. And in Dragon Magazine, Gary Gygax came right out and said, look, this isn't supposed to be historically accurate, so don't take a lot of issue with that. So that's fine. But still, there's some things in there that are just off. The first thing is, I think as an NPC, they're fine. But there's so much that's about the Cavalier that really dictates the way they have to behave, that it takes a lot away from the player's chance to role play them the way they want to.
Why? I don't see that any different than a paladin. I mean, there's serious restrictions on playing.
Yeah. Oh no. I have some problems with the paladin to an extent as well, but the Cavalier, it has things in there like, anytime there's a battle, the Cavalier cannot be stopped. They're just going to go. Doesn't matter what the army does. They're going to charge ahead, no matter unit cohesion. Forget about it. And there's all the stuff about their feudal code about noble service cheerfully rendered, scorn for those who are lowly and ignoble, honor above. And when you start getting through it, like they won't wear leather armor because that's only poor people wear leather. They really sound like jerks.
Well,
I mean, they sound like they honestly sound like the frat boys of D&D.
They were jerks.
I hate to say this, but in certain respects that you mentioned, that is somewhat historically accurate of a knight.
That's true.
They did not want to wear armor that was lower to their station.
No, that's true. I just don't like these guys as PCs. As NPCs, they could make really good opponents and bad guys, but watching somebody roleplay one of these would just not be fun for me.
I don't see that much of a difference between a Cavalier as far as power and a Ranger or a Paladin. I mean,
they're way overpowered. I mean, okay, so they have a horse to do a lot of damage. They do 3 times damage on lance attacks. But you know what? When I was playing, and I used this book. I played a Cavalier. 90% of the time, we were never on horseback.
Right. So how much is that going to get into play? Right.
But like Jason said, you can increase this and that. But I think it does balance somewhat with the negative levels that you get. Well,
that's only if you start out as you're not high class.
Right. And I don't think I've ever known anyone who played a Cavalier who did start at those lower 3 levels below.
I did.
Really?
Yeah, Joe made me start at that lowest level possible.
Oh, Joe, the DM, the legend.
Yeah, he's like, you have to start at the lowest level possible. That class is a bit powerful, so.
Wow.
Okay, so that's good. I mean, that balances out a bit. But, I mean, other things in here kind of really bugged me, like the fact that there's certain weapons they can't use because they're not honorable, because they're... So I get the idea that a Cavalier is not going to use missile weapons because they're standing back and avoiding damage. But then it puts in here and it says other things that... weapons that deal out damage at a distance, including pole arms, missile weapons, and the two-handed sword, call into question the Cavalier's personal bravery and are avoided by all except the most powerful of Cavaliers. Well,
I do disagree with too.
If you're sitting on your horse with a lance, that's kind of that's dealing out damage from a distance.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
And knowing, I hate to mix the historical knight into this, but that's what they're kind of based off of. I mean, late in the medieval period, I mean, knights were known to use certain types of pole arms on foot if they had to. And they were also known to, I don't know if in tournaments or anything like that, but part of the courtly thing was also being proficient with being an archer, being at least a fairly decent archer too.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good point. But they call out like the horseman's military pick, and so I went into my book here, the glossary of arms from George Cameron Stone, and that thing is definitely not an honorable weapon.
Right.
You're on a horse with this big sort of hammer-looking thing. Well, first of all, it wasn't really in Europe. I guess it was a Middle Eastern thing. But, you're on a horse with this big hammer-looking thing that's meant to pull the armor off of your opponent. It's not about getting into hand-to-hand combat.
Right, exactly.
And I'm just going to pick on one more thing, and that's the two-handed sword.
Yeah, I could see a Cavalier using one.
Well, okay, so I saw those Albion swords at Gen Con last year, the ones that Dan Carlin really likes.
Yeah.
They're like the reproductions.
Right.
And the two-handed sword is not some big, long thing that you stand at a distance with. The way they explained it to me, and they were showing me how these were used, is if you were standing on foot and you wanted to take down a mounted knight, it was a good weapon for that because it had a little bit more heft to it. And so I looked it up a little bit. You have things like the German Zweihander and two-hander, and they're just swords that are a little bit heavier. There's certainly nothing dishonorable about carrying a big sword.
Yeah, I agree. Again, talking historically, I mean, knights used the two-handed sword as well.
Yeah.
There's a few things I do not like because I just don't see how, like you're saying with the weapons, and also the percentage to increase those ability scores.
Yeah.
I I can't see why why just the Cavalier would have that. Why not the fighter or any fighter types able to increase their scores too?
Yeah, because it says here, the Cavalier spends all their time when they're not adventuring, training and getting better. Well, if that's the case, then all right, my thief wants to train too.
Yeah, he wants to increase his dexterity. Can I do that?
So I mean, this is where to me, it starts really breaking some of the core mechanics of the game if you can start increasing your ability scores. And so many things. I was just going to say, like so many things that are Unearthed Arcana, it just feels to me like this was the book where we started slipping away from AD&D and turning into 2nd edition and then 3rd edition and so on, and just becoming a much different type of play. In my opinion.
I think most of us know now that this book was made to generate revenue for TSR at the time.
Mm-hmm. It was
basically
it was an optional
everything
rules
post
book.
85 onwards to really try to boost their revenue because they were having a tough time. But
surprisingly, people said that Gary wrote this book by listening to what people did in their games.
Yeah, I could see that.
And people wanted optional rules, so he said, all right, well, I need to make money. I need to put food on my table. So I'm writing the book and make it canon. Boom, there you go. Use it or don't use it.
I think if I was going to have Cavaliers as a player character class to be used in a campaign, I would probably rule out the percentage to increase your ability scores and rule out some of the weapons that they cannot use, like a two-handed sword.
Yeah, and maybe you could find a few in there that you'd say, I like the idea, if you're going to play a Cavalier, of just saying if it's a dishonorable weapon, they don't use it. Mm-hmm. If it's something that gives you, that takes you away from the immediacy of the battle, or it seems like a coward's weapon, they probably don't use a blow dart or whatever.
Right.
But
probably wouldn't use crossbows, but I could see them using bows.
Yeah, and I mean, that's down to the flavor of your game. To me, it's a really good NPC class. It can add a lot of interest to that, but when I'm not a big fan of adding lots of different classes into a game because it starts getting too complicated. It starts getting too much of a power gamer kind of approach. Yeah. A lot of people have campaigns where they've maybe introduced one or two different classes because it really fits the flavor of their game. Like, let's say that you're doing a Middle Eastern campaign and you want to introduce something that's a bit more, themed to the area. That's fine. But just saying we're going to have all these extra classes in there so the players have more ways to to power game. I'm not saying Cavalier is about power gaming, but it really smacks of that to me, and so it
could lead down that slippery slope, can it? I could see that, but I guess you just have to have a little faith in the players, and hopefully they won't let power get to their heads. Oh my God,
right? That'll work.
Yeah, that'll work.
All right, so let's take the Cavalier seriously for a moment. Anyways, I mean, we're saying that we don't like it that much, and we've got various reasons for liking some things better and worse about it. But there's people who are going to use the Cavalier. I mean, Unearthed Arcana is an official book, and there's no reason that you shouldn't play with any of it if you like it. So, if you're putting the Cavalier in, Nick, you were saying some of the things that you would actually maybe house rule a little bit differently.
Yeah, there's a few things I would exclude, like the increasing of ability scores with the percentile. Because like we were saying before, if only a Cavalier can do that, why not other character classes? And also, I'd do maybe some ruling a little bit better on some of the weapons the Cavalier can use. I would still stick with the type of armor, though. I think that fits in with the class.
No, that's fair. I mean, I definitely think that they should be role played as kind of arrogant jerks.
Well, I just don't see them. You see them as arrogant jerks. I see them as the quintessential knight in shining armor.
That's exactly what I just said.
Yeah, knights are nobles, and they're acting like nobles. But let's take a look at
a whole total misrepresentation of a knightly type character.
I don't know. I mean, you know what it is? I think part of it's being influenced by the fact that this morning I went out for some Irish breakfast at this bar down the street from here, which I like. And
You went out for
there
Irish
was
breakfast?
a bunch of Wall Street guys in there. I don't know why they were wearing suits and drinking beer at 11 a.m. on a Sunday, but they just, something about watching them talk and do all their shtick reminded me so much of the way that I've heard knights described in historical things. You know, they're just
those guys aren't
absolutely
knights you saw. Those are thieves.
Well, right. But you know what I mean? They're just like, I mean, I'm not saying these guys worked on Wall Street. I'm saying they were like frat boy Wall Street types, right?
Oh, okay.
And they just, you know, there's the people who are just so convinced that they're at the top of society, that they have these things that they just are entitled to as a result of that. And that's kind of the way that I view the Cavalier types in here. They feel like that to me.
Now, some people could play the Cavalier class like that, but you can also play them as, if you look at their code of conduct, they respect all peers and equals.
Well, yeah,
courtesy
for
to
a
all
given
ladies.
definition of peers and equals.
Yeah.
A defense of any charge unto death.
Right.
Now, normally, when there's the loose code of chivalry that is actually put into here into game terms, but so back in the day, knights were not supposed to attack peasants.
Yeah, but
Supposed to. That was under a particular, it was either the peace of God or truce of God, and we talked about that in a previous episode.
Yeah.
But they're trying to put some of that into the game set here with this code of conduct, I guess, and it is kind of loose how it is interpreted. I guess that's why later on, even it says in the rules under the Cavalier, you could have evil Cavalier. I don't know. I guess it really depends how you roll.
If I wanted to role play them differently, and not just turn them into some kind of, arrogant kind of villain from a John Hughes film, then, the one thing is that in that code, the last one in there is death before dishonor. So I guess the other way you could do them is kind of play them like a Marine.
Yeah, I mean, I would
see that.
I would play them just like they're supposed to defend the helpless, but they have they are kind of like the Marine in a way. Death before dishonor. They're the hardcore, hard charging jarhead.
So yeah, if you want to play the cool version of the Cavalier, I guess think of them as the real good guy Marine from your favorite, I guess, John Wayne film or whatever.
There you go.
That would be okay. But still, I do think that there's some things that need to get pulled out. So if you pull out some of the advancements in of character abilities and those types of things, then but then of course at that point, why not just play a paladin? What's the difference?
Yeah.
Well, if we go on our forums, I was looking at while you guys were talking, pull out Chris L's answer, how to play this class and balance it a little bit better.
Okay.
He has some ideas. He
Great,
said,
let's hear 'em.
Paladins and Cavaliers cannot raise the ability scores through training, like you were complaining about before, Jason.
Sure.
And Cavaliers and Paladins would not level up on the same... I'm sorry, they would level up on the same table as Barbarians, he said. He said he might consider halving the value for the Barbarian chart. Instead of 6,000 at second level, 3,000. And he said no war horses or lances in his dungeon. But those are three ideas he had.
Yeah, it's weird because I actually don't have anywhere near the dislike for the Barbarian that I do for some of the Barbarians. I've always kind of dug because it just seems like that's a class that was sort of missing the first time around. For somebody,
the only thing I didn't care about the Barbarian is breaking magical items and getting experience points for them.
I love it. That's great.
Everybody in the party is like, no, don't touch that.
I think the Barbarian was based more off of Thundar, of anything else.
Well, no, but I'm pretty sure that in 1970, whatever. Well, I guess this was in the 80s, but still, I'm pretty sure that Gary Gygax was not basing anything off of Thundar. except for in the sense that Thundar the Barbarian was based off of Conan, in which case you'd be right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Wow.
You know, I just on a Thundar note.
Yes.
I discovered that there is a large number of people on eBay and elsewhere that sell vintage TV guide magazines as a thing, like keep them in good shape. So I went ahead and I bought about a half dozen TV guides from the early 80s because I wanted to try to remember what all the cartoons were and everything. That is one of the best investments that I have made in a long time. I actually sat down and read half a dozen TV guides from 1981 cover to cover.
Wow.
Okay.
It is fun. Go back and see what the cartoons were in the morning and everything. I'd totally forgotten about most of those. So anyway, if anybody's looking for a cheap dose of nostalgia, go buy a used TV guide on eBay. It's fun.
Well, I know they have a Thundar the Barbarian supplement for Labyrinth Lord.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
The Mutant Future game, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Well, it sounds like we kind of moved on from the Cavalier here.
Yeah.
Anybody else got anything? Vince?
I played them, and I've not played them since I was a kid because I know how powerful they are and how munchkinism they are.
Yeah, it could get away from you. But I think it sounds like we're in agreement that if you are going to use them as a player character class, there are some tweaks that need to be done.
Yeah.
So, and if worst case, just have it as an NPC.
And I think our forums agree with us by saying it's pretty much all the posts for Cavalier are too overpowered, too munchkinism. I think only one person said they loved it, and that was the original poster.
Well, I'm looking forward to the voicemails that we get disagreeing violently with us, so please send them in.
Yes.
On a side note, Jason, I have a quick thing for you.
Yes.
On the Podbeam site where the actual play is, a lot of people put some good comments in for both of us, but one was directed directly at you from Jeremy. He says, "Hi, Jason. I'm digging the actual play podcast. I was wondering if the file that shows the flagstone layout in the lava room could be made available to listeners. I'd like to try to work out the puzzle before the next episode. Thanks very much."
Okay. Yeah. You know what? Let's we'll put it up on this. We'll put it up with this post so that people can grab it from there and try to figure out how to get across the flagstones.
There you go.
Cool.
And we'll head into Creature Feature.
Creature Theater.
All right, everybody. Now we're going to get into Creature Feature Theater. And this week, your humble host, DM Nick, is going to be the DM. And DM Jason and DM Vince are going to be the players. So let's go ahead and introduce the characters again to get everybody kind of refresh of what you guys have.
Okay, I am playing Grimthar, and he is a mixed-up piece of paper with numbers. Oh, wait, no. He's
his AC is 9.
His AC is 9.
Since he's made of paper.
Yeah. He's a human fighter, and he's gargled up, and I don't know, level 6. There it is. Sorry, okay. I'm looking at Skype notes. There we go. He's really cool. How about that?
Okay.
There you go.
Just a side note before I introduce Cedric here, since we're talking about character sheets, I discovered something really neat. So I've got to go out to Los Angeles next week because I'm running a workshop, a corporate kind of thing. And so I'm going out to run this corporate workshop, and I've got to get a lot of executives thinking about like how they are going to work with their customers. So we're trying to figure out how they can relate to these customers and sort of build up who the people are. And so I got this idea. You know what? We're going to make character sheets for all of them. So all of the so about 30 different biotechnology executives will be making character sheets for people and turning them into people they can relate to. So I'm starting to discover that. Dungeons & Dragons goes very good in the corporate world.
Everything I learned in life, I learned from D&D.
Yep. Anyways, sorry. Got that on the mind.
That's cool.
So looking at this character sheet, this is Cedric, and he is a half elf actually, and he is splitting his levels. He's 6th level, both as a cleric and a magic user.
Yes.
And this is him.
So that make him 12th level, right? No. Oh, whoops, wrong game.
No.
I don't even know what you're talking about. What game does that?
What is this other game that you speak of? I do not know.
3rd edition. Yeah, that's it.
What's that?
3rd edition. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, see, I don't even get that joke because I honestly don't know the rules for that game.
Anyway, go ahead, Dick.
Let's move on. If I remember correctly, the last time Cedric and Grimthar were around, they were kind of going through some Broken Lands area, some rocky hills, and you fought that Lucrata.
Okay, so we're kind of like South Dakota Badlands right now?
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
Nice.
It's very similar to that. Very similar to the Badlands area.
Welcome to
Dead Valley Days.
All right.
Anywho, so you're going through this Broken Lands area, this Badlands, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And there's several high rocky hills and what have you. And you're trying to make your way to some sort of civilization. It's somewhat overcast kind of day, very gloomy,
We're on
very
foot,
dismal.
right?
Yes, and you're on foot. Yes, absolutely.
Which one?
Both of them.
Oh, okay.
Let's make that easy. And let's see here. I'll make a random roll. Cedric.
Yes.
You hear to your right, sounds like a bunch of stones falling down along the hillside, and like maybe something scurried off.
Stop and turn and listen. How far away is it? Can I see anything?
You see a couple of these stones fall to the ground where you're at. You look
right
up
by me?
And yeah. It was like a small rock slide, just like a few rocks and pebbles.
Okay.
And you look up to where the fall started, and you see what appears, you're not quite sure because it looks like it flew off behind, just over the crest of the hill. Some sort of strange winged creature.
Winged.
Mm-hmm.
You're not quite sure. It's the most bizarre thing you've ever seen because it looked like kind of like an eagle, a very large eagle.
Okay.
But yet you think it had maybe horns or antlers.
But it's gone now.
And it like flew off over the crest of the hill.
So it's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gone.
Never mind then. Oh, Grimthar, I just saw something bizarre, but don't worry, it's gone.
Oh, okay. In that case, let's continue.
Let's keep walking.
As you continue on, Grimthar, you see up ahead, flying in the distance, it's like four of these creatures that look like Cedric's seen, and they're flying up ahead at least 100 feet in the air.
Okay.
And from what you can see, they look like they're look like maybe the head of a deer, but the body is like that of an eagle or a falcon or something, and they're about man-sized creatures. And both of you also hear some strange kind of calls, I guess, to each of these creatures that they're making. Kind of a mix of, not quite sure what it is, like I guess like what elk would make when they're calling out to each other, but a little bit more, I guess, almost human sounding. Like they're trying to talk to each other, like they're notifying each other of, maybe of your presence, because they seem to be flying towards you now.
Uh-oh. I think we should ignore this and keep walking.
They're flying towards us now?
Yes, they are flying towards you. There's like two of them that looks like that kind of peel off from the other two, and they fly, and it looks like they got their talons out and their heads down to bear to ram into you.
I reach into my pack and I pull a small bag and a bit of a candle, and I perform Monster Summoning 1.
Okay, excellent. And that takes, you said, 3 segments to cast?
Yeah, that's a 3-segment spell.
Okay, not a problem, because it's going to take them at least, actually, probably like 2 combat rounds before they get to you.
Okay.
So they're quite a ways off. So you actually have, both of you have time to prepare yourselves. So you, Jason, your character, Cedric's going to cast Monster Summoning, and Vince, what is Grimthar going to do?
I'm going to stand defensively and see what they're up to.
Okay, so you're going to like draw a weapon and just hold your ground?
Pull up my shield, get ready to be attacked.
Okay, all right. So let me, who's going to roll initiative for you folks?
I'll do it.
Okay.
1.
I rolled a 6. So lowest, I do it. Lowest goes first. So
yeah, I think we all do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've had people. On my VU channel with the video, I had somebody ask about how come you guys always do that. Yeah, we do that. It's a house rule here on the show. You can go to our website, go to where the video answers are, and you can see more about why that is.
Yeah. So, Jason, I got the book out. Why don't you roll me the percentage roll since you're doing the spell?
Good. I was actually just looking for the book myself. I'm glad you have it.
Yeah, I got it right here. Go ahead and roll it, and I'll let you know what monster you summon.
Okay.
That was a lot of dice.
It was that was the whole bag. Yep. All right, here we go. Percentile dice. There must be a little bit of table left somewhere. 33.
33. Oh, wow. Okay.
What did I get?
Hobgoblin.
Yes. Is it all hobgoblins?
Yeah, all hobgoblins.
Okay, so 2d4 to see how many?
2d4.
Come on, hobgoblins.
8.
Oh my God, it's 8.
Wow.
I want a photograph of that.
Hobgoblins.
Photograph.
And to make this
I'll photograph it and send it right now. You bet.
And to make this easy, I will have them. Well, they're going to have maximum hit points. They're 1+1 hit dice. Their AC is 5. So let's just assume they have. Maybe what kind of armor? They're wearing chainmail?
Chainmail hobgoblins.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, AC 5, they're going to have chainmail.
It's good to be the magic user.
Mm-hmm. And I'll say they're armed with halberds, because it says polearm, 30% chance. That's the best thing that they're going to have. So, yeah, they got chainmail and halberds.
Nice.
Wow. I see Jason's been slipping the DM some extra cookies lately.
Well, he rolled it. That's what he got. Hobgoblins. AC 5. They got. So you got, and they're 1+1 hit dice.
Nice.
So they say, we are here to be yours to command it, O Lord.
Stand here and keep me safe.
Yes, we keep you safe. Oh.
Excellent.
All right. Vincent, there is...
Yes, Nicholas?
Vince. Grimthar.
Yes.
The barbarian kind of guy. Grimthar the fighter. There is one attacking you.
I duck.
He's... well, actually, you can...
No, I don't think they're ducks. Ducks have like a bill. These guys are more of a bird.
No. I duck.
Why don't you... there's one swooping down. You can attack it.
I can attack it?
Yeah, it's swooping down on you because you won initiative.
Okay, Daddy needs a new 20.
And you're a 6th level fighter, right?
Holy crap, I rolled a 20.
Oh, wow. Too bad we're not doing crits.
Oh.
We're going to have to turn this into a video podcast because nobody's going to believe these.
What did you hit with?
A natural 20.
I know, but what weapon?
My sword +1, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, +1.
Go ahead and roll damage.
It looks like it's a bastard sword, so that's 2d8. No, 2d4.
And they are medium creatures.
6.
6 points of damage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait, plus 4. 10.
Oh, 10 points. All right, that makes it easy on the math. Excellent. All right.
And they do extra
you
damage.
Swipe that with it with your sword, and you like cut into one of its lower talons and cut off a couple of the talons off its feet, and it wails in pain.
Nick, just a side note: it does more damage versus regenerating creatures. That's all it says.
Okay, all right. Duly noted. All right. Let's see. So it's their attack, I guess. So,
all right.
See, Vince, there's one on you, the one that you swiped at. And your armor class is what, Vince? Grinthar's armor class?
0.
Armor class 0.
0.0.
Okay. All right.
Mr. Blutowski.
And it tries to gore at you with its antlers, and it misses.
That's because I ducked.
That's right. Jason, there's one trying to get at you.
Through the line of hobgoblins?
Yeah, I mean, I'm ducking down behind my hobgoblins for sure. So
let me roll and see what it does. Does it attack the hobgoblins or does it attack you? It attacks the hobgoblins. It obviously sees them as a greater threat.
There's a lot of them.
Let's see. Hobgoblins are AC 5. And we'll just I just gave them maximum hit points, so they have 9 hit points. Let's see here. And hits. He hits one of the hobgoblins. It rams through its antlers. Oh, and does kill it. Yeah.
Okay.
10 points of damage.
How dare it?
So one of your hobgoblins is gone.
All right. I am going to cast Enlarge on one of my other hobgoblins.
Okay. All right. You go ahead and take care of the paperwork on that.
Yes.
You won't have any problem because the one creature that's attacking your hobgoblins, it's not even bothering looking at you.
Okay.
So you can pass Enlarge on one of them, not a problem.
All right.
So let's go ahead and roll initiative again.
5.
All right. I rolled a 4. All right. The other two that were flying in the distance, they seem to be coming towards you now as well. So they're going to join with its companions into the fray. All right. Grimthar, your AC is 0, and he's going to try to gore at you again with his antlers.
I dodge.
And hits with an 18.
Oh.
And you are hit for a whopping 8 points of damage.
Ow.
And when it hits you, you can see that the antlers are almost metallic looking, and they pierce through your armor. You can see definitely you're in close combat. You can see that their heads kind of have like a blue black color, and their wings are feathered. So very bizarre looking creatures. Cedric, you notice the one that is attacking your hobgoblins.
Yes.
You saw something most startling about this creature is that you just maybe just a glimpse through the clouds, the sunlight comes through and it start casting shadows. The one that's attacking the hobgoblins, they see its shadow is that of not of the creature but of a human being.
Really?
It casts the shadow of a person.
Yeah, fascinating.
I
think I'll continue to try and kill them anyway.
You almost think it's an optical illusion, but you're like, what was that? That's weird.
Okay.
It was weird, wild stuff.
I'm going to try and disbelieve the nature of these creatures.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm trying right now.
They're still there.
Oh, okay. I don't hear any dice getting
going to
rolled,
attack
so.
another one of your hobgoblins.
Okay.
And it hits. And
All right.
a little damage here.
Are any of my hobgoblins getting an attack?
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yes. Well,
Yeah,
next
really.
round they'll be able to attack. Okay.
Okay.
In this combat, when it's your turn, they'll be able to attack.
Okay.
Another one gets another 10 points. Another one goes down.
Well.
So you got 6 left.
Of which they all sort of stood there and went, hit me.
Okay.
That's all right. No. Let's keep going.
Okay. So, all right. It's your attacks right now. Let's go ahead and do the hobgoblins.
All right, so 6 hobgoblin attacks.
Yes.
You want me to roll for him?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, if you got the D20s.
Sure.
Okay, go for it.
Let me give you the first 3 so make it easy, 3 at a time. I've got a 2, a 15, and a 16.
Okay.
And I've got a 10, a 4, and a 19.
They all miss.
Oh.
The 19
They
misses.
miss. In fact, when you see a couple of the hobgoblins look like they hit, but it's like their weapons just do not pierce the
Interesting.
the side of this strange creature.
Okay, that's enough being nice, I would say.
All right.
I tried to give him a chance, but I'm going to fireball him.
Okay. All right. Next round, you're going to cast Fireball?
Yep. Well, wait a second. What about this round? Oh, I used it. Cast Enlarge.
This is still your attacks. I'm sorry.
No, I cast Enlarge this time, didn't I?
Yes,
Yes, you did. You
So that's
declared
that.
enlarged.
Yep.
Okay, so one of your hobgoblins is enlarged.
But even so, it didn't make any difference for us to hit.
Didn't make a difference at all.
Okay.
Grimthar?
I'm going to attack a creature in front of me.
Okay, the same. Okay, very good. Roll to hit.
Okay. Come on. 20 again? No, I rolled a 5.
And that's all your bonuses to hit?
6.
You missed.
Oh.
Just missed. You were just going to come right down and lob off the end of its nose, and it just backs off on you.
It ducked.
It quacked. All right. Next round, it looks like the other 2 are going to be able to join the battle. So there'll be one. They'll be helping attack the hobgoblins, the ones that are around Cedric's
Okay.
hobgoblins. There we go. Cedric's hobgoblins.
It's a great show. It's on ABC this summer.
Yes. Sort of like Tucker's Kobolds.
Oh. It's on ABC. They'll be canceling it within 2 weeks, so don't worry.
And the other one will be attacking you, Vincent. So there'll be 2 on you.
Thank you,
Can
Dungeon
you
Master.
describe where how many of these and where they are again, please?
There were 4 of them that were flying in the air ahead of you.
2 of them have engaged with us, and 2 more are on the way.
Yep.
Okay. And how far away are they from each other?
I'll just do it randomly here. They're about 10 feet away from each other.
All 4 of them?
The 2 that are near you are spaced like 10 feet apart, and the other ones are about 30 feet away from. There's 2 groups 30 feet away from each other.
Okay, so the other two are near each other as well. Just not near these 2. Okay.
That's
so when
correct.
I cast my fireball in the next round, I'm going to engulf the 2 that are on their way.
And the hobgoblins.
No, the 2 that are on their way. Not the 2 that are here. The 2 that are like 30 feet away, but close enough to each other to both take damage from the fireball.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
They're flying in close tactical formation.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum.
Not quite, but close enough.
Kill the rabbit.
All right, so I think we got to roll initiative, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Ugh.
2.
I rolled a 3. Die.
Get him, Jason.
Right.
Get him.
All right, here we go. I got 6 hit dice coming at you.
So you're
Get him.
you're fireballing the 2 that are flying in.
Yeah, the 2 that are a little
Got it.
further away. Here
Got
comes 6d6.
All right.
All right, that's 6 plus 10 is 16, 20, 24 points of damage to each one.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
And I gotta save versus spells here. Oh, one saved.
Oh.
The other one does not.
Okay, so 12 and 24.
So one takes 12. Ooh, ouch. And the other one just goes up in a giant burst of flame and goes crashes into the ground.
Nice.
Mayday.
Here's an interesting typo, by the way. Fireball is listed as not having a material component until you read in there and it says what the material component is. Oops. Oh well. But anyways, I used my bat guano and sulfur.
Bat guano.
Oh, I always keep some with me, don't you?
Oh, that explains the stench.
Yeah.
That's the sulfur.
Oh, okay.
All right, so definitely torched one. It crashes. The other one is severely singed, lost a lot of its feathers off its wings, but still coming at you. It's not happy.
Any chance that one that was falling to the ground fell into his companion?
No.
Damn.
All right, so Jason did his. The one that's attacking the hobgoblins. Go ahead, roll your attacks from the hobgoblins.
Okay.
If you so desire.
Let's see. It's obviously made a big difference last time. Let me just get
Okay, they all miss.
3. Hey, let me roll. Are they seriously nothing? 20s aren't going to hit either?
Nope.
A natural 20 should hit, don't you think?
No.
Okay.
You're not playing
Cannot be hit. You cannot be hit with non-magical weapons, apparently.
Ah.
Maybe.
Should at least
Don't bother rolling. Maybe.
Yeah, I know. You should have just not told him.
Could be.
Yeah, I think you missed your clever bit there already.
So one thing to ascertain, yes, it can only be hit by magical weapons, but one's gonna, and it missed anyway.
Okay.
And one on. Oh, and
I get to attack.
I'm sorry, Vince. Your attack. I'm sorry.
9.
Actually, I think that might hit.
Really?
Yes, you hit.
Yay!
They got crappy AC.
8 points of damage. What? Plus
8.
4. 12.
12. Whoa. Okay. As you take another swipe at this creature, you actually cut off one of its legs, and it's flopping on the ground right now. But it does try to gore you.
What?
As it goes down, and your AC is 0.
Yes, 0.0.
0.0, and it does hit you. Kind of gores you right in the leg for 11 points of damage.
Ow.
Yeah. And its other buddy is going to be here the next round to attack as well. All right. I think that was that everybody's attacks?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's go the next round here. I'll roll initiative for these creatures. I got a 3.
4.
Ooh, I go first.
Mm-hmm.
Great. As the DM says with glee. So now there'll be 2 attacks on you, Vincent.
Uh-huh.
Big miss of a 3. And a big miss of a 6. So both missed you.
Aha.
Jason.
Missed both my legs.
The one is attacking the hobgoblins. He rolls a 10. And that hits one right on the nose.
Exactly.
Literally.
On the nose, yes.
For a lot. Like 14 points of damage. Yeah. And the other one that flies in attacks you.
Okay.
Because he saw you with that fireball, and he doesn't like you.
Nope.
And I rolled a 1.
Okay.
He drops an antler. If I was doing fumbles, he dropped an antler.
Nice.
All right, your guys' attacks.
I'll just roll for mine.
Okay.
8.
To hit?
Total,
8.
yeah.
Let's see here. Actually, you hit it right on the nose. That's exactly what you needed.
5 plus 4, 9.
Well, as you take your final swing, you get it right in the throat, and it just lets out this blood-curdling scream and falls to the ground, and it's dead.
Oh, sucker.
All right.
So we got the one left, right?
There's 2 left.
Wait.
There's
Oh,
one
right,
that-
because one of them was coming in.
Yeah, that one that's mad at you. It killed its buddy. You know, you say he killed Fritz, and
Killed Fritz. So help me understand which ones are up still.
one that took massive fireball damage, and the other one that was attacking the hobgoblins.
But the one that took massive fireball damage is the one that's attacking me?
Yes, because he saw you fireball his buddy.
Okay, that makes more sense. I get that.
Obviously, they're quite intelligent creatures. They're not dummies.
They're smart enough to know who threw the fireball at them. That's
Exactly. Smart enough at least to know that.
Okay. All right.
So-
I am going to be casting invisibility on myself this round.
Okay. Vince, is Grimthar going to be doing anything different this round? Still pressing the attack?
He's going to be holding on to Cedric's arm so he goes invisible too.
Does it work like that?
No, it doesn't. I want to see if you let me.
It doesn't? I'm like,
That's
don't think that's how that
teleportation,
works.
maybe.
if he had mass invisibility spell, yes.
I was going to see if you let that one slide. I defend myself and attack.
Okay. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and roll that initiative again.
Okay.
4.
3.
Oh.
Nice.
All right. You guys go first.
Okay, I'll attack. Ooh, natural 20. Woo!
All right. Roll your damage.
So that's 3. And that's 2. 5 plus 4 is 9. And if it was
All right.
doubled to be 18.
You run over. Grimthar runs over to the one that was attacking the hobgoblins, and he just cuts off the top of its head with antlers.
That's right. You show it.
Falls to the ground and dies.
You show it who is the boss.
Yeah.
And
beep, 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 beep.
yeah. And Cedric goes poof, disappears.
Yep.
Chicken.
I guess it's the last one's attack, and I'm going to see what it's going to do here since its opponent has disappeared.
It's going to be smart and attack its last known position.
Where I will not be.
Exactly.
It turns and tries to gore at one of the hobgoblins that is nearest to it. It hits it. I rolled a 17.
Oh, man. I feel bad for these guys.
They're cannon fodder. 10 points of damage.
That's the wrong approach. They have feelings too, Nick.
Not anymore.
Oh, yeah.
They're not cute little kittens, okay?
Some
He didn't summon 2d4 kittens, did he?
Yeah, next time it's lolcat summoning.
There you go. But yeah, another one gets gored through the chest and is flung off to the side. So that's its one attack. So last round, let's go ahead and roll initiative.
Well, the last round is going to be getting a what do you call it? A lightning bolt.
Yikes.
Oh, you're gonna like this thing.
I got a 6.
Well, I rolled
Okay, so then you go first.
Yes, I'm going to see what it's going to do now. It goes after another goblin. And it missed. Oh, well.
So our
All
attack.
right.
66 for a lightning bolt?
Yeah.
Oh my god. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 5 is 10, plus 1, 2, plus 18. That's 28 points of damage from a lightning bolt.
Okay. It doesn't even matter if I save for half. Okay, you turn this thing into Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Awesome dinner.
Yeah, and it falls to the ground. It's like a.
Are any hobgoblins still alive?
Yeah, I think there's only. You think there's like 4 left?
Okay, I'm going to release my invisibility and come over to them and say, "Guys, dinner."
Ew.
Oh.
They're hobgoblins.
They're like, okay. I only eat dark meat though.
There we go.
All right, now, can any of you guess what this creature is?
A bird.
A duck bird. Okay. I'll give you a hint. It's the regular monster manual.
Uh-huh.
So
you're the one.
It's only been
Nick, you're the one that's always going, ooh, I know what this is. We're useless.
Yeah, really.
Okay, it's on page 78 of the monster manual.
Okay,
the
what do we have? Oh, the most ridiculous.
The Periton. I think that's how it's pronounced.
Well, Periton or Periton or Peritone, either way, we killed them.
And
yes.
We will talk about them next week.
Yes, we
Absolutely.
will.
In fact, I found an ecology article that was in Dragon Magazine, and I'll use that.
Oh, awesome.
So, very interesting stuff about this creature. So, people were saying, hey, why come you're always using the Fiend Folio? I'm like, okay, let's go back to the old monster manual and see what we got there. And I picked the Periton. So
excellent.
We'll talk about it next time.
Same bat channel, same bat station. That's going to wrap up the show this week. So we're probably going to be heading out. Any last-minute thoughts, guys, for people out there?
Keep sending in voicemails. I'm looking forward to next week's show with Larry Elmore as our guest.
Yeah.
Yes, if you have any questions, 570-865-4210. And what is that, Nick? The RFI...
Got an email?
Not answering that question.
Oh.
RFIstaff@gmail.com.
Yes.
Yes.
I should memorize that, huh?
Or RFI. Does RFIstaff.com go to RFIpodcast.com now?
No, I don't think I actually bought that domain. I think maybe we can get our wonderful moderator, Lass, to start a forum topic asking what people would like to ask Larry Elmore.
Yes, that would be great.
Q&A
so
for
Lass,
Larry Elmore. Yep.
Lass, I know you're listening. Please, could you start a forum topic finding out what people want to ask Larry Elmore?
Definitely.
That would be cool.
Otherwise, we're just going to hog the spotlight.
I also like to hear from people, like, what do they got, if they have, like, special gaming plans over the holidays. You know,
yeah.
I know my group, what we do, we usually have a pretty cool special gaming session over the holidays. We usually actually not even do like regular role-playing stuff. We actually do like a board game night over the holidays. We'll pick something to play like Zombies or something like that, Great Space Race or something. So, yeah, I'd like to hear what anybody has like special holiday plans for gaming.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what? Okay, this is maybe it's too late right now, but wouldn't it be cool if we could have a Secret Santa for our listeners? No, I mean, let's see. We've got what do we got? We got a couple of weeks until Christmas. Maybe there's time to get people to join a Secret Santa group. What do you guys think of that?
That might be a little too late.
Cutting a little close, buddy.
Too late? Oh,
yeah.
heck.
But that's really cool when you mention that, though, because remember that I told you about that one podcast about Call of Cthulhu, Yogg-Sothoth.com?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
They do a secret Shoggoth. So Secret Santa, it's the secret Shoggoth. So
that's awesome. Well, you know what? I'd like to hear from people saying what they'd like for Christmas anyway. Let's call in and let us know either what you want for Christmas that's D&D related or what you're giving somebody else. And we'll
that would be cool.
Maybe if people can call in, just make it a short one so we can play a whole bunch of them. That would be really cool.
Yeah, bumpers, things like that. Something we could play on the Christmas show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's the other thing. If anybody ever wants to call in, we play little bumpers sometimes that say, this is so-and-so, and you're listening to the Roll for Initiative podcast. So if anybody calls in and just says, this is, DM Who's It or whatever, and you're listening to Roll for Initiative, or I listen to Roll for Initiative, we'll make it part of our show.
Yeah, and keep it clean, though.
Well, then we won't make it part of our show if we don't.
That's right.
All right.
Keep it original, keep it old school, and let's get out of here.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Roll for Initiative.